Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi. And she yells, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running a theme park. And when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog ate it. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess who's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday night. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Oh, it's been a hell of a weekend around here and a hell of a day. We laughed, we cried. There was a whole wide range of emotions. We watched, for the most part, all 7-ish hours of Charlie Kirk's memorial. I did record a Cheeky as Fuck podcast with my best friend. When she drops that podcast, I will give you guys the link. She has her podcast on Spotify and wherever you can get major podcasts. I will be, it was a lot of fun today. But tonight we are rage baiting a little bit. Will Megan be canceled? And no, not everybody's favorite Megan, good hair, Megan with the good hair. No. Not our Megan Fox. Not that Megan. This is Megan Farina. This is a TikToker with 671,000 subscribers. A stay-at-home mom whose spouse, I thought was her husband at the time, owns a business. Well, she decided to open her giant fucking trap and make some comments, and well, she took down the original TikTok, but I will show you, and then we will show you the response. We will show you the response. So we's gonna get to this tiki-talkie here. She has been known to say some incredibly stupid political crap and open her giant fucking trap on things that she appears to know not a gosh darn thing about. And I am trying to be a little more godly. I'm trying to be more like Charlie, and he'd look at me if we ever had a conversation and be like, bitch, what the hell are you doing? So I am trying to be more like Charlie. Mr. Squid and I are both trying to be more. We're just trying to be better because we're just trying to be better than the people who supposedly hate us for our beliefs. And by the way, PSA, if you lose your job for talking crap about Charlie Kirk online. You didn't lose your job because of people trying to, you know, block freedom of speech. You lost your job because you showed your employer the shitty human being that you are. You lack compassion, you lack sympathy. Whether you believe in empathy or not, you have none. You showed your employers what kind of human trash that is in this world, and employers have the right to say, "I don't want that representing my company." So it's not cancel culture, it's when your employer finds out you're a shitty human being, because your job in life is more than your skills. You can be take occupational therapy. You're a great therapist. You have all the knowledge of neurology, of cardiology, of ortho. You are the best therapist as far as knowledge. But if a patient doesn't like you because you're a shitty human being, you're not gonna make it far in that business. So, yeah. So we will get to and she took down um the original TikTok for obvious reasons. She doesn't think she did anything wrong. We're gonna get to that. But if you don't think you did anything wrong, why take down the videos? Hmm, hmm, funny. All right, we will get to this fantastic. We will get to this thunder cow. So this is Megan Farina. She lives in California. She's a stay-at-home mom, not married apparently. Her spouse owned his own business, an electrical business. I looked up when I found out about this because this is one of the people that I was going to make a video on. But I was like, she ain't worth my damn time. And we will see why. No.
Let's all join hands and bow our heads in thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Gather around, bitches. Let's all join hands.
Did y'all catch that? I mean, it was a short TikTok, but short TikTok. But she's dancing and smiling and laughing. Oh. Okay, I already don't like her. Yeah, I well, she's about to she fucked around and she's about to find out because this is hers.
Every child was senselessly gunned
Okay.
down. On Wednesday, September 10th, when Charlie Kirk was
This is-
shot, I posted a video.
This is her apology, if you want to call it that. So y'all gonna hear what I have to say about this. And this is going to get a little political, but like usually I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what people's thoughts and opinions are. But like when you go around celebrating the fact that someone was shot, you are a shitty piece of trash who deserves all the karma that is coming to you.
Video offering him the same thoughts and prayers that he offered after every child was senselessly gunned down while at school.
Well, yes, because he's a godly person and praying for people who and their families who had just lost children is the godly thing to do. Offering your sympathy and compassion, not empathy. Sympathy and compassion. He can't put himself in their shoes. That's empathy. Sympathy and compassion and prayers because that's what a godly person does. I can't help you. There's nothing I can physically do to help you. Roy, I love you. You are a perfect example. Um, I cannot physically do anything to help Roy and his wife. and her current health situation. However, I can pray that things will work out the best way possible. I can let him know that I am thinking about him and his family so he knows and she knows that they are not alone. As someone who has no political power, that is the best you can do besides going and physically like raising money and things like that. But as a Christian, offering prayer is what you do. I am a really bad Christian. I have my cross, but I'm a really bad Christian. However, I've probably prayed more in the last 2 weeks than I've prayed in the last 2 years, but that's beside the point. Like, yeah, and Charlie wanted guns in school to protect the children. Yeah, prayers are always appreciated. See? And it's like, and prayer is a powerful tool. It is. It's also, there is this um abundance theory. Um it's you know, the mind, if the power of the positive mind, um positive affirmations, things like that. When you think negatively, things will go negatively. So prayer, it might seem like something small, but if someone knows that they're not alone in a situation, it can really be helpful. And it mm, mm, it's just like I'm an awful Christian. I don't go to Mr. Squid sees himself as an atheist. I don't see him as an atheist. I just see him as someone who doesn't doesn't understand himself. Like I said, it's been an emotional day, highs and lows, you know? Anyway, let's get back to her. And hey, Cat's back. God's grace is sufficient. Yeah, it's a it's been a day. I just yeah. Ugh. I don't know how Erica did that today. I would have lost my mind.
Within an hour, and before any condition was known on Charlie, I posted a follow-up video expressing why I felt the way I did, and even ended with, I hope Charlie Kirk makes a full recovery and goes on to become a gun violence advocate. Since it
My second problem with her is this is why you don't post anything immediately, because that shit always turns around to bite you in the ass. This is why the only if you're going live, you go live to look at things as they're developing and talk through them as they're developing. You don't post something and then sit back and then post something again. No, you take it down, you issue a retraction. You don't leave it up or post another video. She did that shit on purpose. Like that shit was 150% intentional. Because here's my thought process. She's a stay-at-home mom. She didn't think as a stay-at-home mom, I've kind of had these thoughts myself. Um she didn't think that anything could happen to her. There would be no blowback. She can't get fired because she's a stay-at-home mom. Who's gonna fire her? She's a stay-at-home mom. She's a TikToker. You can't get fired when you own your own business. However, however, she did not take into consideration that her boyfriend or baby daddy or whatever they are, fiance, husband, I'm not really sure, owns a business. As a creator, you don't have to be concerned about yourself as much as you have to be concerned about your family because they did not ask for this. Mr. Squid and Baby Squid and my parents are not YouTubers. Yeah, they occasionally you see one of them pop in occasionally, but they did not ask for this shit. So when I say things and when I make content, I have to think about, will any of this, like when I make my aviation content, he is my aviation expert, but I don't tell you where he works, I don't tell you who he works for, and I don't tell you what he does. I just tell you who works in aviation, and he has a degree in aeronautical engineering. That's as good as you get, because I don't want anything that I say or that he talks to me about to blow back on him in any potential way. I know that going into those streams, what I can and cannot say. And there are certain things that I want to tell you guys, but I can't tell you guys because I don't want anything to identify anybody that I know that works in aviation. She did not take, whether I like this bitch or not, taking that completely out of the, like taking whether I like her or don't like her and her political views completely out of it, because in general, I don't care about someone's political views as long as you respect, you know, mutual respect, we agree to disagree. Taking her political views out of this, you don't do certain things like posting when you don't know the situation. Like, I think I posted, I want to make a Charlie Kirk stream, but I don't want to do anything until I know more. And I didn't do a stream until like 2 or 3 days later. You don't make content that you may live to regret. Sometimes you just wonder, like, what is going through people's heads? But I think as a stay-at-home mom, she didn't think that anybody could touch her with her opinions because she's a stay-at-home mom. Can't fire a stay-at-home mom. However, when your significant other owns a business that easily, and their name is easily found because she uses her full name on her TikTok. It's not that hard to figure out other information. It it's just here. And Jeffrey, I started a little bit early because the little fell asleep early. She usually falls asleep anywhere between 8:45 and 9:15. So I figured I'd schedule it for 9:15, and if I started early, I started early. Yeah, when Mr. Squid fell at work, you didn't give details. You were asked over and over, but you didn't guarded his privacy. Oh, the people that caused him to fall got fired that day, by the way. So, uh, yeah, but you protect the people around you. And if that means that you don't share your name, people know my first name, that's fine. But people generally don't know. And if they do, they keep that shit to themselves, which I really appreciate. But like, you got to protect the people around you because it's not just you. And when Mr. Squid and I were talking about this video, because he's the one who actually showed me this video, and he was like, he, he was like, I feel bad for her boyfriend. And he was like, yeah, but this is why you don't talk shit about people on the internet. This is why you don't talk shit about people on the internet. And I literally had the conversation with him today. I was like, I always tell people on my channel, you don't talk shit about people on the internet. In real life, if you talk shit about someone, you get punched in the face. Online, you either get doxxed or sued. Neither one of which sounds like a fun option. So he's good. He's good. He's back to himself. He's probably back to his self from like 10 years ago. It's maybe 15 years ago. Like, yeah, I haven't seen him in this good of a mood in a long time. So, oh, yeah. Yeah, this Thursday, I'm doing a members only stream. We're doing some Reddit stuff just to decompress. It is my 40th birthday, so if if you see me crying on Thursday, I'm joking. You see me crying on Thursday, I'm having a midlife crisis. That is totally kidding because Apparently, somebody thought I was serious when I said I'm having a midlife crisis. Whatever. To the lurkers, hey y'all, thanks for the views. Appreciate you.
If you have watched any of the videos on my page, you would know I stand firmly on not being violent and that violence is not the way we are going to fix things in this country. Well,
I don't have the exact videos, but I've been going through her videos, and she has said on multiple occasions that there was a couple people who got in Trump's face at a restaurant, and she was like, being civil is not the way to go. This bitch has incited violence on her page more than once. She's just pissed that it's going the other way. So, yeah. Why do people refer to their name as their government name? The government didn't name them. Sounds silly to me. Your parents named you, not the government. It's their government name because it's on their government ID. That's why. Because like Mr. Squid doesn't even go by his government name. So that's funny. Like neither do I. Like those of you who know my YouTube or my Facebook page, my private Facebook page, that's not even my real name. So it's just funny that people think, oh, somebody doxed me as like that's not even my name. But like, nice try. You know, self-doxing is not allowed. uh, yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, your birthday was what? It's like yesterday or today, right? It's like right by mine. So they refer to it as the government name because it's what's on their government ID. Most people go by a nickname or, So, hey Mama Cuddles, Debbie Webb, how are you? Oh, she has on her page in the past talked about like being a Kamala voter, and Kamala voters are so open. Do you notice that Trump voters are not? Do you ever wonder why? And she mentioned something about maybe they're embarrassed about who they're voted for. It's like, no, they're afraid that y'all are going to attack them because these are the same people that say words are violence. When you tell people, and I'm going to get a little preachy, but when y'all say that words are violence, when you repeat over and over again, words are violence, and you also call people Yahtzees and ists, racist, homophobes, misogynist, all of this. When you talk that long enough, when words are violence, people think that all they are doing with violence is stopping people from using violence against them with words. It's the natural progression of things that if words are violence, then they're justifying using actual violence to silence word violence. It's just a natural reaction. So, like, I don't know why people are surprised that this happened. This is just when the media is calling people evil for having a different opinion, um, this is the natural progression, and I don't understand. I have no idea why people are shocked that this happened. I am sad this happened, but I am not surprised by any means. The downside is Charlie was one of the people who all he wanted to do was talk. He wanted to talk to people who disagreed with him. And when you eliminate the people who all they want to do is talk, you leave behind the people who don't want to talk. You leave behind the people that will meet violence with violence. Just remember that. When you take out the good people, the people who just want to talk, you leave the people who don't want to talk. And that's what I'm scared of. I mean, not personally. Like, You know, I got into a debate on Facebook with a friend who's just I swear he's like an anarchist at this point. Um, but he was like talking about a whole bunch of stuff and the shooter being um the shooter being professional and things like that. And I'm like, I've hit that shot from a longer distance. At that distance with that weapon, you should be able to pick what nostril you want to hit. He missed, which is sad in the sense of like, mm, yeah, he missed. It's not a professional shooter because professional, you don't go for the neck. That's the dumbest. Yeah. Also, Timothy, when words stop, the violence begins. And also, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. There's another quote from Charlie that I like. So let's get on with this. I can't stand to look at her ugly mug.
Since I posted those 2 videos, my life has been completely turned upside down, and I have been thrown into what I can only explain as literal hell.
That's called karma. That's not hell. Hell is the fact that you decided to call somebody or dance that someone was shot in the neck. And I'm sorry, but if you're shot in the neck, your chances of you surviving are very, very slim.
First, my address was leaked, and then all of my family's personal information followed.
That's a you problem because you use your full name on social media like a dumb fuck.
Boyfriend's company, again, I said he's my boyfriend, he is not my husband. That has absolutely nothing to do with TikTok, with my TikTok account, or social media, or
He's also the father of your child, and I told Mr. Squid to be careful who you surround yourself with. Be careful who you have a child with. He slept with crazy. Not Mr. Squid slept with crazy too, but that's beside the point. Y'all know that already. That dude. And it's a natural assumption from the general public to if this is her baby's father, because she's a stay-at-home mom. So naturally, that's her baby daddy, whether it be a boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever, that they have the same beliefs. If they made a child together and they are still together, there's a good chance that they there's a good chance that they think the same way. And I'm sorry, he owns an electrician business. If she is happy that Charlie Kirk got shot, I am not going to let him in my house, because if he sees a sign that says "Let's go Brandon," because I have a "Let's go Brandon" sign in my house, or a Trump flag or a MAGA hat or anything in my house, who's to say that he won't screw up the job and my house will start on fire because he doesn't like my politics? So this is why you got to be careful who you surround yourself. Yeah, I thought he was a leftist too. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but it's safe to assume that who you sleep with generally thinks the same way as you do. Just a thought. Yeah, I think we're gonna yeah, Star, she's a stay-at-home mom. So, yeah, freedom of speech, yes. Freedom of consequence, no. Yeah, guilty by association happens quite often, especially when it's your significant other who you made a child with. Last time I saw a forehead that tall, I was watching Coneheads on Saturday Night Live. Oh my goodness. And the fact that she's reading this from a piece of paper, uh, gener I'm sorry, like, you can have an outline, but, like, knowing that knowing that you wrote it word for word on a piece of paper doesn't make it genuine. Doesn't make it genuine. So, I just
Politics in general has been defamed and slandered. Calls and negative reviews started pouring in by the thousands. Someone showed up to his company, entered his private office, and verbally assaulted him. My child, and my family's lives have been threatened thousands of times.
okay, I do side with her for being mad about this. I don't believe in doxing. However, I don't believe in doxing, let's put it that way, especially a child. However, bitch, you use your full name on social media. And when you use your full name on social media, it makes it just this much easier for someone to do it when you've pissed them off. I don't I don't you never threaten somebody because that puts you on the same level as these people. And I'm sorry, but like be better. Just like Vices always used to say, be better. Be better. Be better. Yeah, verbal threats are still threats. Yeah. Um it's just one of those things of like that I don't agree with that part. I completely agree with her on this point of being mad about this because I would be pissed too. I know how I reacted when someone threatened to call CPS on me for nothing. So I can't imagine how I would feel if my child's information was leaked. I do agree. However, this is why we don't use our full names on social media. That's why you don't know my child's name. Mm. I call BS, showed threats, lose business. Okay, but threats, probably lying. I don't think she's gotten as many threats as she has, um, as she claims. Um, my my assumption is that she sees this right here. Oh no, consequences. Um, why delete the video if you didn't do anything wrong? Um, like sh- I have a feeling she sees some of these as threats, even though these aren't actually like threats. Like, but you have people that defend it. These comments are so crazy. I'm so sorry you're being terrorized for expressing an opinion on something we're all allowed to do. It's like, yeah. Mm. So she's probably been doxxed. I don't know. Could it's one of those things of like I could care less to search. I did look up what I thought was her husband's business, and saw all the 1-star reviews, but I did that like a week ago. Um, I looked that up a week ago, when I was researching to do a video, but every time I tried to record that video, I had a little hands and someone trying to talk over me, and it got to the point where I was like, "This is just." That's why I'm doing a live stream about this, because if I tried to record a video, recording a live, she will leave me alone because she's used to it by now. But for some reason, when it's not a live video or a live stream, she knows. And she will be everywhere because she's like, "Oh, it's not a live video." So, yeah. Yeah, she thinks anything not praising her is a threat. Um, I had never heard of her until I was looking at people's reactions. I had gone on TikTok to look at people's reactions when I was researching a video, and I had saw her first video. And then I had seen a couple people react to this video, and Mr. Squid actually showed me this video. Um, and he said, "Have you seen this?" And I hadn't. And him and I were talking about it, and I was like, "I'm going to react to that tonight." He looked at me like, "Of course you are." He looks at me when I talk about my YouTube channel like that again, that thing again. Like, yeah, I absolutely miss Lorax every day. Yeah, you and me both. Yeah, you and me both. You can look up anything you want about anyone, but just don't dox the info. Yeah, and honestly, it's really not that hard to find people. It's just, it's whether you are an asshole or not. Like, and looking up stuff, especially when you get channels that are like, "Well, you do the research yourself." Okay. Okay. Let me Google. Let me put some stuff in Google and see what comes out. So, uh, she doesn't see the chat, it looks different, so she thinks she can behave differently, Angel's Grid. Uh, it's just this is just bad. If you want yeah, Gail, you're right, if you want names, you can find if you can find names. It's just one of those things of, like, knowing someone's real name and saying someone's real name is 2 different things. And Harry, thank you for the 5 gifted Squid Brookwell memberships. I appreciate you. And thanks for ensuring that I don't work for free tonight. Uh, you spent the whole 8 hours on Danny's chat modding. She was live the whole time. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I had other stuff to do, you know. I wanted to watch the whole thing. I got to watch Vance's speech. I got to watch a couple of other or most people's speeches. However, I thought Vance parts of his speech were like, "Tell me you're running for president in 2028 without telling me." You know, it's like, "Tell me without telling me." And he did make a couple of really good points about uh, being a Christian, but being open about it. And it's like, why is everybody else get to be open about who they are, but we have to hide the fact that we're Christian? So, this episode of Squid Proco is brought to you by Tug's original Tennessee reloading doorbell. Leave those pesky doxers at bay without even leaving your live stream. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Yeah, wrong Megan. Yeah. In the thumbnail is the full Megan, the her full name. In the title I didn't put her full name, but in the thumbnail is her name. She's a TikTok Megan. Like, we watched with both thinking his wife should have gone last, not Trump. I think they did that on purpose. I just I think that's the way Erica would have wanted it. I don't know. Did you see Don Jr. Imitate his dad? That was pretty funny. Like I said, we laughed, we cried, but I also recorded a podcast with my friend. My best friend has a podcast called Cheeky as Fuck. And we recorded a podcast about the channel life, balancing work life, mom life, all that stuff. So when it drops, I will let you guys know and y'all can go check it out over there. So she doesn't edit it, so it's kind of like a live stream. So like whatever happens, happens. So it's gonna be a fun one. So we'll get back to her reading her script. I hate scripted stuff.
I have received text messages and emails saying I should be raped and murdered and that people are coming to my house, say my address, and then say they are coming to spray it with bullets.
I do think that that's wrong, but I also think that like there's a bunch of people who are going to be like, we don't believe you, and I believe you should redact what you need to redact, but show those emails. Redact their information to be respectful. Don't drop down to their level, but like show those emails. Just don't be like, I've received these emails or these text messages have threatened me or this and that, and not actually show them, because then you're just a lying piece of crap. Like, show receipts. Redact, but show receipts.
MAGA protesters have shown up to my house, driven through my private neighborhood, sent me hate.
Your neighborhood, unless it's gated, is not private, sweet pea. It's a public road. Like, public road, honey pie. Bless your heart, princess. Maybe, hey, guess what? You've gotten a taste of what you've told to other people to do to Trump supporters. So karma at its finest. I don't like it, but maybe you will learn that the free speech crowd really that whole, yeah, that whole, you're getting a taste of your own medicine, honey pie.
Mail, left notes on my boyfriend's office, and my own neighbor has offered to share my whereabouts with the internet. Yes, you heard that correctly. My neighbor has offered to share my whereabouts with the internet. We have been traumatized and stripped of our privacy. All
Things that you've told your supporters to do to people that you don't like. Yeah, where are the receipts? And hey, King Paco, Slug, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Megan Fox got canceled for being a boomer. So somebody put on Twitter, or when I put this on Twitter, they commented on it that they initially had to take a double look at the thumbnail because they thought it was Megan Fox, and Megan Fox responded that I'm uncancelable. People have tried, but she goes, but I have a long hard talk with myself when people have a problem, and it's like, oh. It's just funny. And hey, King Paco, what's going on here? This is somebody who decided to do a song and dance, thoughts and prayers song and dance when Charlie Kirk was shot, and now she is making a video about the fact that she was doxxed and not treated well. So, and hey, John, it's yeah, it's karma.
because I said Charlie Kirk, who did not believe in empathy himself, did not have mine.
Yeah, he did. Tell me once again, another person that fucking he didn't believe in empathy. Yes, he didn't believe in empathy. He thought empathy was a made up term. But if you listen to the rest of the damn quote, and I wish I had all those queued up, but it's been an emotional day and I would have cried my eyes out searching for all those. But the rest of the quote goes something like this: I much prefer sympathy because sympathy leaves room for compassion. So people go, I don't believe in empathy. Yeah, sympathy. Sympathy. Like, oi. Uh, Let me guess, she's one of these idiots. She is the idiot. How bad of a neighbor is she if they're willing to do this? That's a mhm, 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 mhm. I know. I know. I'm aware. Remember, I used to be a mod for Megan long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. Like before Maya. So, she's probably precedent of her HOA. Yeah, is the someone chaos and coffee is the apology in the room? Oh,
I think the most ironic thing is that my life and my family's lives have been torn apart over my words on the internet by the very people who support Charlie Kirk and are always yelling the loudest about their First Amendment right and freedoms of speech.
freedom of speech is not freedom of consequences, princess. This is why you don't talk shit about people on the internet. Especially, you don't throw stones when you live in a goddamn glass house. Excuse my language. But when you are sitting there being a hypocrite, you don't throw no. No, no, no. No, no, no. When you feel like you are above consequences and you can say whatever you want, and guess what? Consequences come up and bite you in the butt. Sorry. Sorry, I don't agree with the doxing, but the other sorry, Jack, you get what you got.
And while I realize and believe strongly that words have consequences, there is nothing that I did or said that even deserved a percentage of what happened to me.
You celebrated the fact that somebody was shot specifically because you didn't like what they had to say. And now you're pissed because you were held accountable. And guess what? Your boyfriend, that's what he gets for associating with a shitty person like you. If he doesn't agree with that, then that's what you get for surrounding yourself with shitty people. This is why you don't surround yourself with shitty people. This is why when people are shitty and I find out that people are shitty human beings, I say, please don't talk to me anymore. I don't want to talk to you anymore. We're not friends. You're a shitty human being. Because I don't want this guilty by association crap, because you can't be guilty by association if you don't speak to people. Like, yes. Hey, Don, how are you? Karma. Yes. Yes. We need a banner that says don't talk. I need merch that says don't talk shit about people on the internet. Like, and that's the thing also. The First Amendment only protects you from the government. It doesn't protect you from consequences of private businesses and individuals. They have the right not to like your speech, and they have the right to do shit about it, to talk shit about you. They don't have doxing, technically not illegal, just a shitty thing to do. However, me, well, when I first saw the video and I heard that he owned an electrician company, I said, I told Mr. Squid when I first saw that video, or I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been Mr. Squid, but I said that's a divorceable offense. That is a divorceable offense. Like, I am never that type of person when I read Reddit stories or whatever, and I go, "Oh, he should divorce her," or that's, they should stop talking or whatever. But I'm like, when I first saw this, I'm like, when he owns a business, she's a stay-at-home mom and thought she was untouchable. That's a divorceable offense. Like, no, being associated with you is gonna ruin my business. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. And then please, someone in the comments, like, please stop bullying her. I can't like all the comments. Oh my god, that's hilarious. This is just so funny. And the fact that this is her like apology video is like, this is just bad.
And my family. And I know I am not the only one whose life has been destroyed over this. Hundreds, if not thousands, of other content creators on this very app have been fired from their jobs and doxxed. And I must say, that really terrifies me.
Once again, I will reiterate, if you get fired from your job, it's not cancel culture. It's not. It's your private business that you work for finding out that you are a horrible human being. And do you notice that most of the people being fired are healthcare, government, or schools, whether that be county, high schools, state level schools, or like colleges. So not only are these supposed to be people that in power that we trust, government, teachers, healthcare. However, these are also businesses that have social media policies, ethical considerations, codes of conduct. These are not jobs that, like McDonald's, that Joe Schmo off the street who has a rap sheet could get that job. No offense to the person who might work at McDonald's who has anything. I have friends who are convicted felons. I do not care. It's not my business. Anyway, but these are people who you need background checks, you have ethics classes, continuing ed classes that you have to take. You have a whole bunch of codes of conduct, social media policies. You can't post. McDonald's doesn't care if you post some crappy shit on social media, whereas a hospital where you're in charge of giving medication to people on both sides of the aisle gives a shit what you post on social media. So it's like they're like, my freedom of speech. You signed a contract when you took that job. You signed all that paperwork that says, yes, I understand the employee handbook, the code of conduct, the ethical considerations, the social media policy, and you're cheering someone getting shot in the neck on live TV in front of thousands. The the cognitive dissociation that you have, the cognitive dissonance that has to go on in one's brain to justify the mental gymnastics someone has to do, if you find yourself ever, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, ever having to justify someone's death for using free speech, you might wanna look in the mirror and seek Jesus. I'm not providing spiritual guidance, but you might wanna find somebody who can. Because if you ever and I'm sorry, if I ever have to am associating with someone who has to justify, I'm gonna find new friends because that's not someone that I want to be around or I want my child around. Holy shit. And the fact that these are around, this bitch is a mom. Her poor kid. I'm not saying she's a horrible mom as far as like the daily care of her child, but damn. But damn. Like, what are you teaching your child? And what ethics and morals are you teaching your child? Just a mm, 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 mm. Yeah. Social media policies. You can't say this shit. Yes. Like Mr. Squid pretty much he doesn't have social media because of the fact of his job is so strict with their social media. Someone got fired for their spouse posting a picture with their logo in it, on their like uniform logo on it. It was posted and they were like drinking a beer or something. It was something so stupid. But like they got fired because of like I'm not taking that fucking chance. Like, yeah. Elon might have found Jesus today based on his tweets. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the gaslighting in this video, I did nothing wrong, is bad. Yeah, would you want that neurologist doing brain surgery on you? No, and I'm pretty sure my neurologist is liberal as fuck. My neurosurgeon. Um, I'm my neurosurgeon, I'm 99.9% sure he's liberal as they get. However, I don't know that. I didn't ask. He didn't tell. He made no indication that he gave a shit what my politics were before he cut into my brain. And because I have a whole lot less symptoms than I did before, I think he did a pretty damn good job considering I can feel my legs again. Where I think he did a really good job. Not once did he ever ask me what my politics were or judge me based on anything like that I know of.
Because it makes it clear that these people only want us to have the First Amendment right and freedom of speech when it fits their narrative. That is not the country I was born in, and that is certainly not the country I want to raise my child in. So today I come to you with a few calls to action. First, if you or
here we go. Call to action.
anybody you know has been doxxed, harassed, threatened, or fired, please reach out to me via email at I'veBeenDoxxed2, number 2, at gmail.com. Secondly, please consider.
She did edit this video. Did you see that jump cut? She should have asked for advice before she posted this video. What a moron. Yeah, and I'm all for like, this is why when something happens, especially something political that you don't know much about and about somebody you don't know much about, you should not post. There's things that you should like keep your mouth shut, keep your opinions to yourself until you know what the hell is going on. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. Not in the least bit. However, I did post something about Charlie Kirk has been shot. I'm not going to go live until I know more. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Give me a couple of days. Just letting you guys know, yes, I know about it. There's a lot to process. while I don't necessarily approve of cancel culture, I love watching it eat the left. Maybe after the dust settles, both sides will agree not to do it. See, and I don't see this as cancel culture. I see this as maybe mob accountability, which may be a problem to a point, but like when your employer finds out that you're a shitty human being, that's not you being canceled. That's you being held accountable for your shitty actions, especially when you're breaking like the Middle Tennessee State University professor, not professor, dean of students, assistant dean of students was fired. Laura Lightsey had posted, there is a code of conduct. There is a Middle Tennessee State University has an ethical employee code of conduct that she broke with her online comments. The neurologist from Miami University has a code of conduct. As a doctor, you have an ethics code. She broke both. So it's not so much that it's cancel culture. It's your employees. People are letting your employer know that you're a shitty person. You might be a great neurologist. You might be the most knowledgeable person when it comes to the brain and the function of the central nervous system. However, if you are a shitty human being, yeah, Miami or University of Miami, Florida. There was a neurologist. I think she was a neurologist. That was fired. So there was a whole bunch. Maybe I should still make that video because apparently y'all don't know about as many as I thought y'all would. I didn't want to make the video because I started to be like, there's too many of these. Y'all probably, this is not news to anybody, but apparently it is. So it's just hey Stats, how are you? Good vibes to you. Yeah, good vibes to you back. It's just one of the like these comments too. It's called freedom of speech, which is protected under the First Amendment. Yeah, it's not freedom of consequences. Consequences. Yeah, no apology. Nope, not good enough. Like, it just, yeah, doubling down, bad idea.
Attending your local No Kings Part 2 protest on October 18th. And
yeah, No Kings Part 2. I think we got rid of the it's funny the fact that the people who are like no kings are the people who like are the people who wanted you to like show papers in order to like go out to a restaurant during COVID. Like these people are yeah, words have consequences. Yes, words have consequences. Yes, it's not cancel culture, it's accountability for saying some stupid shit. Like I told Mr. Squid, when you say stupid shit to people in person, they punch you in the face. I don't believe it, but I don't agree with it, but generally that's what happens when you're up in someone's face and you say stupid shit. That's what happens. However, um, when you're online and you say stupid shit, people will try to talk to your employer. And I swear, she thought that she would no accountability. I guess her husband's business is shut down, or her boyfriend's business. He went out of business. Either that or he shut it completely down for a while. So yeah, it's like the people who are like no kings are the people who are acting like the it's just that I was raised, your words have consequences. Words can hurt or heal. You only are responsible for what comes out of your mouth. Yeah, but words are not violence either. So there's like, words are not violence. There's that. So like, I agree with what you said. How many subs did she lose? I don't know. Probably none. It's TikTok. Probably none.
Third, if you are a California resident, please get out and vote yes in person on November 4th on Prop 50, the Election Rigging Response Act. I'll end with this. Right now, the most important thing we can do is support each other. Fascism hates community. So right now, we must build community.
Fascism hates community. It's just it's the fucking just when you're okay with someone being sweet pea. Not like you will ever see this, but if you ever see this, honey pie. Bless your precious little heart. I'm gonna pray for your family because they have to put up with you every day. I'm gonna say this and trying to find a way to word this without being. I'm gonna try to word this in the southern nicest way I can. When you celebrate the fact that somebody got shot for their words, that is literally you being the fascist. So pot meet kettle. Are you holding up a mirror behind the camera and looking at yourself when you're doing this? Because the projection is off the charts with this one. Mm. The projection, man. The projection. Well, let's look at some of her other TikToks. Like, uh,
Keep the money flipping, it's all I know.
oh, not gonna play that. But like the hashtag FDT, you know what that means? Like, people are just posting a bunch of stuff, but like, she's just, it's just. I think she took down some of the more awful ones, like, uh.
I just saw an interesting video about the differences between like MAGA Republicans and just regular Republicans, like the red hat wearers, if you will. And I think it's something that we should talk a little bit more about because I think that one, there is a difference, although I think that
She's from California. I guarantee you she has 0 friends that are Republicans. She might have subscribers or followers that are Republicans that claim to be like anti-Trump or whatever, but I can guarantee you this bitch has 0 friends that are Republicans because she's the type of person that she will eliminate family members if she finds out they voted for Trump. So when she's talking about, like, I don't encourage you to go look at her stuff. Like, it's not worth your time. It was kinda giving me a headache, but, um, it's kinda that, like, w when you were looking at it, it's like she's the kind of person that will, um, eliminate people from their lives just for who they voted for. So I guarantee you when she's talking about the difference between Republicans and MAGA Republicans, she has no idea what the hell she is talking about. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah, California, anyone with a millimeter to the right of Trotsky is a fascist in her mind. Yeah. She hasn't, hey, Calvin, how are you? She has no idea what life is about. Yeah, this is for those of you who weren't here when or when we started this stream, this was her original video. She deleted it, not thinking, still claiming she did nothing wrong, but deleted the video. Make that one make sense. Here's what she said. Here's her video. I mean, yeah, there's that. And then you have like people's response. This is one of my favorite people.
Somebody gets publicly executed and you mock the people that are praying for his recovery, and you post that to over 500,000 followers online, and I find out that you're my neighbor.
This is the neighbor. Yes. This is not, do not go contact her. This is not, nope, do not dox. If you find out her home information, do not post it. If I find out that anybody on here doxed anybody, you will not be welcome on this channel. Like, yeah. So this is her, yeah. This is her neighbor, though.
And you have a business here in town. Oh, broski, bro. Oh, you're gonna go out of business so fast, dude. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Here's the thing. You can post whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Free country. That's your right. But don't think that there's no social consequences for what you say and do. Because you forgot you live in a community, right? Like, we're a town here. We're a city. And we're the ones that are supporting your business. We're the ones that are paying for your services. And when we find out that you're doing things that are kind of icky and evil, we don't really feel like spending our money at your business anymore.
And that's the thing. These people who are all getting fired, this goes to not just the Megan Farina situation, but these people who are getting fired as a greater point. These people who are getting fired, your business finds out that you're a shitty human being. They don't want to associate with you because you might cost them business because you post that shit online. They might see you if you're a face of the company or you're an employee that sees a lot of customers. A customer recognizes the fact that you post, because social media ain't that big. It's big, but it ain't that big. Shit gets around. Shit gets around faster than never mind. I was gonna say faster than an STD in the villages, but I could be wrong about that one. Ask Lisa. Anyway, sorry, I had a moment. Had a moment where I wasn't a nice person. It was it was a we just have this thing of like, if you post something and someone walks into that business and knows that you're a shitty person, now they see that you're a shitty person and you work at that business, they're not going to want to go to that business anymore because a shitty person works there, an evil person works there. And that businesses like money. For a lot of businesses, it's all about the money. And if they know that someone is going to cost them money, sorry, bitch, you gotta go. You're fired. Like, I need that. I need Trump's, like, from back in The Apprentice, you're fired. But, like, honestly, though, like, if you're gonna cost a business money specifically because you are a shitty human being, it doesn't matter how great you are at your job. I just it I had a how am I gonna say this without getting yeeted? Yeah, my friend today, the one who I recorded the podcast with, she is in the military, and she and I had a conversation about what they've been told about all of this. And back in 2004, we were basically told, "Watch what you say, because it could come back to bite you in the ass." And we had MySpace, so that MySpace was the only social media we had back then, and we were even told, if we get wind of what you're posting, and you're posting some shady shit or some inappropriate shit, you will be held accountable. Because at the end of the day, if you're in the military, you're government property. it's just yeah, money talks. Unfortunately, that's the way. I mean, everything is about the money in a sense. Eh. Hey, Barbara, it's hurtful at times when friends or anyone can't do right and their channel gets taken off. It's just it life is complicated too, and you gotta walk fine lines because it's like you wanna help, but you don't wanna get involved, but then you wanna say something, but you know that you have lines to cross or you can't cross lines because of you work at a business where, you know, and it's fine to have opinions that people don't like, but it's once again, it's how you say it, not just that you said it. Like people can disagree with Charlie, and Charlie didn't have a problem with people disagreeing with him, but it was how they said it. When you're sitting here celebrating, it's like, thank you for letting everybody know how evil you are. I'm gonna call this one. It's 10:15. It's been an hour. Um, I'm gonna end it here, but I will just say, if you have to justify or you know somebody that's justifying anybody's senseless murder because they said stuff that you didn't agree with, you really need to take a deep, long look in the mirror at yourself because there is something not right. If you have to do some justification for anybody's murder, that is a deep internal problem with yourself. And uh you need some help. Yeah, you need some help. Like, anyway, y'all have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. Might have a new lawsuit for you. Some of y'all know about it, some of you may not. Um, we will definitely see you on the next one. And remember, never be afraid of your faith. Thoughts and prayers for people are okay, no matter how many times people tell you that thoughts and prayers don't do shit. And hug your kids, hug your family, tell people you love them. Never be afraid to tell people you love them because tomorrow is not always promised. Y'all have a great night, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.